So a punch down is taking an implement, so whether that's a steel punch down machine or legs or whatever, but basically you're taking the cap of the wine, so the skins, the pips, the bit that floats on top of the liquid part, and pushing it down into the liquid. So it creates, you're infusing the part that you're trying to extract from into the part that you're trying to extract to, in such a way as to give you a certain mouthfeel. I think it's important to mention maybe how that differentiates from another traditional extraction method, i.e. pumping over. Pumping over is where you're taking juice off the bottom and putting it over the cap so that it trickles down through the cap. That can quite often just follow the same channels each time, particularly when you have a very tight cap, whereas punching down, you're physically infusing the whole of the cap in the whole of the juice, so it's a much more homogeneous extraction. The result of which tends to give you a greater mouthfeel, a more linear mouthfeel, quite often, depending on the variety, this is a generalization, but give you finer tannins as well. Depends how often you do it, depends how deeply you do it. Now, there's some, for example, some fermentations, and towards the end of fermentation, even though the principle is true, I would hesitate to call it a punch down, because it's literally just gently pushing it down to the point where you see a little bit of juice on the top. So it's literally keeping the cap wet. So there's a very small extraction process. So above and beyond the punch down, it's how much, when, how long for, how long are you holding. It's like a tea bag, effectively. How strong do you like your tea? How long do you hold the tea bag in the water? How often do you do a to and fro with the tea bag? It's exactly the same principle. Beware what you create. Its arms are long.